Did I even read this thing correctly? I mean, I cannot believe what I just read. Hey guys, Tony Denaro here. I have been getting a lot of questions on YouTube, Discord, and Twitter about my thoughts on the proxy vote coming up for the meeting on June 16th, 2022. Before you vote, I want to share some important thoughts with you so that you can make your own best decision. And I think there's some really critical things that you need to know prior to voting. Let's get right into it. There are 3 proposals on the vote for the upcoming meeting in June, and I did get my proxy statement from Fidelity to put in my vote, and wouldn't you know it, even after factoring out the shares that I bought after the date of record, which I think is April 22nd, so you can't count shares that you bought after April 22nd. Even after factoring that out, I'm over 100 shares short in my vote. Bruh. Now, this happens because of loaned out shares, rehypothecation, or shenanigans. So you can bet that I'm going to be following up with Fidelity to find out exactly what they have to say about why I'm being shorted so many votes. And I want you to carefully check your proxy statements to see if the number of shares that you're allotted votes for matches the number of shares that you owned prior to April 22nd, 2022. And if it is different, let me know your broker and by how many shares you are off down in the comments below. You don't need to put how many shares you own, just tell me how many shares they're shorting you. And let's start talking about this a little bit more. Now let's dig into the 3 proposals on the proxy vote. The first item is to elect the following nominees for terms expiring in 2025: Adam Aaron, Howard Koch, Kathleen Paulus, and Anthony Saich. Sorry if I said that last name wrong. S-A-I-C-H. This one's pretty straightforward. I don't have any big problem with any of those 4 names. Item number 2, to ratify the appointment of Ernst & Young LLP as the independent registered public accounting firm for 2022. Now, I've already seen a lot of people are saying, let's not vote for Ernst & Young. They've got a mole on the board of directors. And that may be true. Yes, there is a board member who has a prior history with Ernst & Young, but does this vote even really matter? Let's dig down into the document and highlight a key sentence. On page 23, you can scroll down and read this for yourself. In the 3rd paragraph, it says, if the stockholders fail to ratify the selection of this firm, the audit committee may appoint another independent registered public accounting firm, or they could just throw your vote out and say, who cares? Oh, sorry, I was ad-libbing there. Or they may decide to maintain the appointment of Ernst & Young. So basically, your vote does not matter here. Vote your conscience, but they can do whatever they want according to how this is written. Okay, so now let's talk about proposal number 3. This one is really getting the most questions asked about it. Proposal to conduct a non-binding advisory vote, non-binding advisory vote, to approve the compensation of named executive officers. In the proxy statement, this discussion starts on page 27, and I am not going to read all this to you. I'm going to go a different direction, but I want you to know there's over 20 pages in this statement where they try and justify all of the changes they want to make to increase the CEO, CFO, and executive staff's compensation. Now, the way that corporate pay is done in America typically is that the CEO and executives get a base salary plus certain cash bonuses and stock incentives. Now, these stock incentives are important because they're usually spread out over 5 years, and that keeps the executives aligned with the interest of the shareholders because not all those stock grants happen in 1 year. If it takes 5 years for all these stock bonuses to vest, then theoretically the CEO and the executive staff is aligned with the shareholders to increase the value of the stock over time. And just to drive this point home, on page 32, you can see exactly what Adam Aaron and the other executives' base compensation is. For Adam Aaron, it's $1.5 million base salary. For CFO Sean Goodman, it is $800,000, and so on per the table here. Moving into the bonuses and the stock bonuses, we can see that in 2020, Adam Aaron's total compensation, including everything, was $20.9 million. In 2021, it was $18.9 million, including cash and stock bonuses. Sean Goodman, the CFO, 4.2 million in 2020, 4.7 million in 2021. Now let's take it a different direction. This information comes from the website aflcio.org, and I will put a link to it in the video description for you. Let's take a look at Mark Zoradi, the CEO of Cinemark, a competitor of AMC. I think anybody would agree. His total compensation for the year ending in 2020 was $6.9 million. What was Adam Aron's? Remember, $20 million. Mr. Zoradi's base salary, $740,000. Value of stock awards, $5.7 million. Other compensation, $413,000. Total compensation, $6.9 million. A little bit different than 20 million, but I also want you to look at this bottom left information here. Cinemark Holdings disclosed that its CEO pay was 1,150 times its median employee's pay for the fiscal year ending 2020. That means for all of the other workers in the company, the CEO made 1,150 times more than the median employee in the company. Just for your information, according to this website, the average in 2020 was somewhere around 300 to 350x for CEOs to the median employee of a company. So even Mr. Zoradi is well above the average in the United States of America at up 1,150x. Where do you think Adam Aron falls in? Let's take a look. Adam Aron total compensation $20.9 million, includes a salary of $1.1 million, bonus of $5 million, value of stock awards $14.7 million, other compensation $21,000, total $20.9 million. And here's kind of where I have a problem. CEO Adam Aron's pay was 3,803x the median employee's pay at AMC. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems a little bit excessive, especially when you compare it back to what the median pay and the X factor is at Cinemark or to any other company in America for that matter. Now, if you factor in my disappointment that all of these executives are taking their stock bonuses and selling them as the stock is going up, which we are the ones buying it and driving that price up. So in my view, they're kind of selling it on our backs. Now, is it legal? Is it ethical? Yes and yes. It's perfectly legal what they're doing. Is it a good look? No, it's not a good look. It's not a good look to sell when the company is in negative earnings and you're selling as the AMC shareholders are the ones driving the price up. In light of that, and in light of the fact that his pay is 3,803x the median pay of every other employee in the company, I'm thinking if you're going to allocate that money into compensation for people at AMC, maybe you ought to not pay Adam Aron 3,800 times the median of everyone else. Maybe, just maybe, you should make it a little more reasonable, like 300x or 350x like every other company in America, or even 1150x like the CEO of Cinemark. And what do you do with all that extra money, all these other tens of millions of dollars? How about you divide that among the other 30,000 employees at AMC, the hourly workers, the jobs that you're struggling to fill because you're not paying enough? If, for example, Adam Aron's pay was cut more in alignment with Mark Zoradi at Cinemark, that would shave off about $15 million from his executive stock compensation package. If that money were redistributed, maybe handed out as stock bonuses to the employees, the rest of the staff at AMC, that would be a $15 million difference just looking at Adam Aron, which translates into a stock award for every employee at AMC of at least $500. That is using an estimate of about 30,000 employees at AMC. That is all the information that I want to share with you. I want you to use it as you choose when you cast your vote. As for me, well, I think you might have an idea where I'm going with my vote. Again, I am Tony Denaro. I want to thank you for watching. If this is your first time here, please buy and hold that subscribe button. Join me on a live stream. I live stream every day at market open and market close, answering your questions about AMC, GameStop, and a host of other stock options and crypto plays. No super chats required. I hope to see you on a future live stream. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid